Good afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen. TBL here and Story Machine back for Planet Destiny to do a quick discussion video about some of the things we just learned about Destiny 2 from the Destiny 2 live event that went live earlier today. First things first, Story, what did you think of all of that?
I'm just trying to find my clothes at this point. You know, everything is just... my whole apartment's in flames at the moment. It's tattered in ruins. But boy, oh boy, what a sequel that we're going to be able to sink our teeth into.
Absolutely. You know, they started things off by saying in Destiny 2, players will undertake a journey to recover their powers and their home after a devastating attack on the tower. And they absolutely showed that off. There's so much stuff to get into, but again, we're going to try to keep this nice and quick, so we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. First things first, we got to see what was the start of a brand new cinematic-based campaign, complete with NPCs. We had the Vanguard helms moving in. They showed off the very first mission of the game. It was called Homecoming, and it serves as kind of the prologue for the story. And holy crap, we have NPCs that we can interact with now. We're running through the tower with like Zavala and Ikora and Cade, and we're moving through basically what winds up being the destruction of the tower and the city and the setup for the entire story of Destiny 2.
Indeed, fending off the Red Legion, trying to defend the last scraps of the tower. I was quite blown away by the cinematics and the gameplay that we were seeing there. The notes that we've got here, we go on for featuring lots of cinematic storytelling. There's going to be thrilling solo adventures, cooperative events, competitive and social gameplay. The story campaign, you'll embark on a massive journey to fight back against the Red Legion and reclaim your home. And yeah, there's a good start.
It's a very good start, and that focus on cinematic storytelling is one of the biggest complaints about Destiny's story in year one. Looks to be a primary focus in Destiny 2. Now, during that first mission, we got a great look at a bunch of new things, and we're going to go over some of those. First off, we've got our basic classes, we've got our Warlocks, we've got our Titans, and we've got our Hunters, but they showed off the 3 new subclasses for those classes. For Warlocks, we got to see the Dawnblade, which is kind of like your current Radiance, except you get this big flaming sword and a bunch of really great sword abilities. I thought that looked incredible.
Yep. Mining that. Then we've got Titans, we've got Sentinel. There was a leak earlier on today saying that Titans were going to get some kind of Captain America style shield, and those leaks were in fact quite on the money.
Absolutely correct.
Deflecting various projectiles with the shield. We've got throwing the shield like Captain America. We've got shield attacks very similar to the holding the relic and the Vault of Glass. Hunters. What have we got for Hunters, Link?
For Hunters, we have a new class called the Arc Strider, which looks very cool. It plays up on the Hunter's notion of being kind of a solo fighter. You've got a staff that you kind of go in and beat people down with. So think Blade Dancer, but with a staff and with a couple of other really interesting abilities, because along with these new classes, we got to see what some of those abilities are like. Now, of course, melees and grenades are returning, so you've got your normal cooldowns that you're used to from Destiny 1, but each class is going to have special abilities tied to them now. We only got to see, at least as far as the notes that we picked up, and from what I could see on the stream, we only got to see the abilities for Titans and the Warlock class. And we'll go over those really quickly. For the Warlocks, for the Dawnblades, they had an ability that's kind of similar to the Sunspot ability from Sunbreaker Titans right now, where they kind of threw down this small little circular area, stood in it, and got a buff called Empowering Rift, which increased their overall damage. Yeah, it was really cool. It like turned their weapon into an arc-styled weapon, and they dealt increased damage. For Titans, they get to throw down what looks to be like this icy shield wall that, of course, protects you from any sort of frontal damage for a short period of time. Both those abilities look really, really cool, and I'm really glad that in addition to the melees and grenades that we're used to coming back, we're getting something to differentiate the classes a little bit more.
An ability system is definitely going to introduce more tactical play, especially in both PvE and PvP, really. I don't think it's going to segregate or separate and be biased towards one type there. So definitely something that's going to add strategy to the gameplay.
Absolutely, which by the way, jumping around a bit here, but PvP, something very important to mention, they stated that 4v4, Crucible is going to be 4v4 game modes moving forward in Destiny, which has half of like the Destiny crew cheering a cries of joy and the other half saying, I wonder what that means. That's actually been something that the competitive environment has been asking for a very long time. Very excited to see where that's going to be going.
It means more powers, more abilities, and less complaints about said powers and abilities because there are less players in a mode. It just it leaves a lot more room for more interesting dynamics of gameplay, for sure.
We'll certainly see. But in addition to the new classes and new abilities, we also got to see some new weapons and a brand new weapon system, dude. So they very quickly went through this. What we've got are kinetic weapons, an energy weapon, and a power weapon. Now, how exactly that's going to work, I'm assuming it's going to be explained a little bit later. But for the kinetic weapons, it was like your standard primary weapon. For your energy weapons, for the first mission they showed off, he swapped over to what looked to be a void pulse rifle from a hand cannon to a void, or from a kinetic SMG to a void pulse rifle. And then for your power weapons, that consists of stuff like snipers, LMGs, fusions, rocket launchers, and etc. So it looks like you're going to be able to basically have the same sort of one kinetic, two elemental weapon system that we have in Destiny 1. But something very interesting there is that they moved snipers and fusion rifles over to over to what would be considered the heavy weapon slot. I think it's just kind of an interesting change to solve the special weapon problem of Destiny 1, make the special weapons heavy weapons, apparently.
Great to see them trying new things. I was very, very keen to get more information on this. At the moment, we don't have too much information. Maybe some more information is going to bubble up to the surface after we get some feedback from the guys out on the field that are actually currently testing the game at the moment and getting the chance to play. So yeah, we will report later on for sure.
And it is important to note that this recording we're doing right now is made immediately after the Destiny 2 live streaming event went offline. So if any new information has come out, be sure to stay tuned. We're going to cover that stuff too.
Yeah,
but another big note thing.
We're still flabbergasted and soaked in sweat and completely thoroughly excited. In shock,
we're still
kind of at the
swimming
moment.
in it. But another big surprise was that SMGs and grenade launchers have been confirmed as brand new weapon types in Destiny 2.
That's right. And the dubious volley is actually making an appearance. Isn't that's also been confirmed? The old special exotic rocket launcher that's been hiding it away in a lots of databases and stuff, that seemed to make an appearance, which was quite interesting.
Turns out the dubious volley is going to be available in Destiny 2, and we even got to see it get used off a little bit, which was very exciting stuff. So we've got SMGs, we've got grenade launchers, and we've got a rocket launcher that, as you said, has been hiding in the database for like 2 years now. Some really, really exciting stuff there. Personally, I cannot wait to get my hands on SMGs. To mention one in particular, they pulled out one that was basically a Gatling gun. And that was incredible.
Yeah, like I got a good look at that, but I wasn't too sure what I was seeing exactly, you know?
Yeah. It looked from what I saw, it looks to be a kinetic SMG, but I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that again from our people out there on the field who are playing Destiny 2 right now. Yeah. But moving forward a little bit, they talked a bit more about story and showed us what engaging with the game would look like. We're going to have 4 new world spaces. Io, which is a sacred world to the Warlocks, the Titan moon of Saturn, Nessus, which is a Vex-occupied world, or sort of world that's been taken over completely by the Vex. They didn't state that, I think they stated that it was kind of a planetoid that was taken by the Vex in its entirety. And we have the European Dead Zone on Earth. The European Dead Zone is something that has been mentioned in Destiny since before Destiny 1 even came out. So it's going to be really interesting to be able to explore that area. And that's actually going to be where the new home sort of tower section of the Guardians is going to be found.
And then we've got a whole bunch of different options for patrols and the like, didn't we? We had a list of itemized business that we can do outside of these worlds and in these worlds, exploring and getting into fire teams and stuff. We have like patrols are coming back. Patrols are going to be a lot more in depth. They're going to be a lot more exploration involved. We've got these lost sectors, haven't we, as well?
Yeah, lost sectors, which are going to be a new way to earn loot in your fire team. It's kind of going to be like a mixture of public events and treasure hunting was the vibe I sort of got from it. We also got They didn't really elaborate too much on it, and I expect we'll learn more as the days go on. But we have some sort of treasure map feature that you can go in and kind of find hidden treasures all throughout the world. It looks to be a much more centralized sort of world exploring experience. They brought up a big map. It's going to be a much bigger focus on exploration rather than just say spawn in this zone, move to this zone, move to this zone, move to this zone. You've got a map that you can fill out, and it'll show you where public events are, and so you can head to those areas and join other fire teams in those public events. A lot more emphasis on the exploration in Destiny 2, it seems.
Indeed. But you know what? You won't have to return to orbit to do any of it, apparently. No, with a new streamlined director in Destiny 2, you can seamlessly launch into new activities without returning to orbit. What do you think of that?
I thought that was fantastic. I love being in orbit. It's been constantly for the past almost 3 years the place where I build fire teams and just sit and listen to music. But not having to jump between orbit to go from, say, the Cosmodrome to Mars, being able to just go between those different activities without having that, that glorified loading space is what orbit really is. I think that's a really, really impressive thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a welcome change, but I was also very happy to see orbit screens. There were screens very clearly with our ships hanging there, and you could see your fire team makeup. So there's still the original Destiny identity there. However, we're not going to have to return to orbit just to go back out on patrol or join a raid or go to the Crucible. It could all be done in an instant, which is very handy. We also have this new clans system as well. It's being dubbed as a guided games feature. This is where solo players that are looking for groups can team up with clans for challenges like raids and nightfalls. What do you think of this new emphasis on the social play?
Well, for the longest time, people have been asking for matchmaking for raids and nightfalls and stuff like that in trials. And this is kind of a good way to give them that option. The guided game system, well, first off, they're taking the clan system that's sort of tangentially connected to Destiny right now, and they're bringing it into the game. You can manage your clans and stuff from inside of the game now, which is very good. And this guided game system is going to be a great opportunity for solo players who maybe don't have a bunch of people that they play with all the time to be able to get in, match up with clans that are looking to help bring people through content like trials and nightfalls and bring them through that content. It's a great compromise for the idea of matchmaking in this stuff.
Yeah. I like that. It was good. And each clan, it seemed to have some kind of like a reputation system, was that? Or like at least a biography. So people can really check them out and see whether that's going to be the kind of group that they would like to, reach out and get in touch with. So really nice to see the emphasis on social tools and stuff in game for once as well. And
yeah, exactly. It makes a much more friendly experience.
Yeah, we've also had a bit more information on the PC version. Obviously, the PC version has been 100% confirmed, but now we know where we're going to be able to get access to a pre-order. Unfortunately, the PC version is not going to be available through Steam, which is what a lot of us, including myself, actually suspected it would be. This is actually going to be available through Blizzard's Battle.net instead. So pre-orders apparently will be available soon, so you're going to have to keep your eyes on Battle.net for that. And there we go. That's pretty much all the information that we've condensed in this very short video, just running down everything that we've seen from the Destiny 2 reveal, confirmed at the moment. There's going to be plenty more coming, of course, because we've got the Planet Destiny podcast this Sunday, which is going to be lit. Isn't it, TB? It's
going to be pretty darn lit. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot more stuff that happened in the Destiny stream. Like swords were confirmed, exotic gear was confirmed, other other kinds of great game modes and stuff were confirmed. But this is a video where we really wanted to try to keep things as compact as possible about some of the biggest bits of news that have come out from this event. And we'll be covering all the rest of it in videos that are going to be going on later in this week. And of course, in the Planet Destiny podcast this Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be diving completely into this stuff and giving all of our full opinions on it. So absolutely look forward to that. There's a ton of stuff to look forward to with Destiny 2. I cannot wait to learn more.
Yeah, we've got our guys out there on the field as well. There's Bones and Mega and Fallout there.
Yeah, we've got several people there at the event. And
so they will be there on the podcast as well. You'll be able to ask them as many questions that you like in chat as well. So there's plenty to do.
But all right, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to let us know what you guys think of the Destiny 2 event down in the comment section below. What are you most excited about? That's what I want to read in the comments, so get to it. But anyways, Story Machine and myself are out of here. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, aim the black link, he's Story Machine, smoke him a kipper, and stay frosty.